Notre agence présente Ring 0 à la Biennale d'architecture et d'urbanisme de Séoul. C'est une installation prospective qui aborde la question de la microarchitecture versus la macroarchitecture en référence à l'échelle humaine. Depuis plus de 10 ans, je questionne en tant qu'architecte la notion d'échelle humaine. J'essaye de réconcilier les disciplines en tissant des ponts entre les pratiques artistiques. C'est sans cesse la question de la préservation de cette référence au sein des structures bâties qui est en jeu. En prenant la ville de Pékin comme exemple de ville expansée, ayant progressivement rejeté tout rapport à la petite échelle, il s'agit de puiser dans cette échelle humaine les potentiels de résilience qui fabriqueront les villes de demain. Le rapport entre l'échelle humaine et l'échelle du cadre bâti pose donc une problématique qui s'exprime à la fois en termes de lisibilité, d'accessibilité, d'utilité, de durabilité, d'hospitalité et bien entendu de la beauté. S'interroger sur ces rapports de dimension intègre une réflexion globale sur la vitesse ainsi que sur le temps, mais également au sens et à la perception. Du petit au grand, du lent au rapide, du proche au lointain et du discordant à l'harmonieux. Nous avons souhaité dans cette vidéo poser des questions à des artistes, des designers, des curateurs qui travaillent en Chine ou avec la Chine dans un souci de croiser des regards pour tenter de repenser un monde à l'échelle humaine et de renouer avec le sensible.
The big and small, what's the best? You know, I came to Beijing in the end of 80s. So the city was very different from today, from the scale, from the population, from the architecture, from a lot of things, that the density, everything of the city. And today, it's we live in such a huge city, and honestly, I have to say it's a lot of pressure of daily life, because that creates the pressure of time-consuming, the distance every day. Basically, you are traveling in the city. That your life is always on the road, and you are in all this. Your life every day kind of go through all the kind of space, from personal space, public space, to the whole, in general, the urban space. So that it's really not easy. And honestly, I think Beijing is totally out of the portion of the human scale. That is very difficult. Honestly, I don't like it. Because I think when I'm in this work, it's really, this really inspired of how I see the cities. Like I see the city of when I was born, when I was growing up, and how I live in now. So that I create this big contrast, and I intentionally create this. Well, actually, I played with this real and unreal, and large and small, because maquette is small, right? It's a small thing, but actually that represent the real city of the reality, because that maquette is from real estate promotion, sales market, that maquette which sells for in advanced build up. So that maquette actually has a very interesting icon. It's very iconic as a model, you know. Then I also create this human dramas inside the maquette, because I especially try to build the story of the human figure very tiny, because there's a proportion of the architecture and the human life. And that creates a very big, well, you feel kind of funny, but at the same time, I played with the real and unreal, because the figure and the maquette both are totally opposite of each other from the reality, how I use it. Because I think now, you know, we live in a better life. Individually, everybody has a better space. Everybody's looking develop their personal space. But at the same time, our city become more intense. And if we look at what's the problem of the big city, the loneliness and isolation, what happened? We are so close to each other, and we live next to each other, just between the walls. And we are in all the cubes. And the cubes next to each other are so dense together. But why we are so lonely? Why there are so many single? Why people cannot find true love? All these problems. What happened? So I was really thinking about what's the problem of the big city, since I was living in New York for some times. And I see the similarity of Beijing and New York. And so that's all how I concerned and I convert this observation of life into my work.
What is sustainable? Because if you're moving constantly and then you're constantly throwing away things, I think that's much worse than you have something that can last. So right away, I was like, you know, this is the way that I think is more sustainable, is to have very good quality, very good design decisions to make things that can last longer, and therefore less waste throughout time. And that's my that was my first and idea. And it seems like a lot of people nowadays feel connected with that idea, because they realize, oh, I also need to move. And then it's such a depressing thing to think about how to deal with all that logistic. I was like, yeah, just get a crate furniture. You can have all your stuff. And the idea is to have when you close it, everything stays inside and then can go. And then nothing needs to be taken out. So when I get to a new place, we push the box in, we open it, and right away, life is back. Everyone can have a more customized feelings or architecture environment that they chose to be in. But it doesn't necessarily means they cannot collaborate with other people. And the reason people gather in city, I think it probably won't change. City will still keep getting bigger, but the city need to really have to upgrade, and then bringing the idea of community that's more needed now. That a real community, not just a park. For example, in Beijing, there's all these random parks, and the city planning was not a very successful one, I would say. First of all, they created this ring road that everybody has to be on, that basically become a deadlock during rush hour. It's impossible to get around, and they had to change the policy about how the car can drive on, and making life very inconvenient. Architecture really is the actual solution, the tool.
Pékin, comme on le sait, est une ville très particulière. C'est une ville qui ne cesse de grandir de manière naturelle, comme un corps humain qui grandit progressivement. Un corps qui n'a jamais eu depuis le départ un urbanisme qui est travaillé, pensé à l'avant. Il se développe en se faisant, il se fait naturellement, encore une fois. Ton sujet est sur la microarchitecture. Entre art et architecture, la microarchitecture, elle est vouée à s'adapter à l'humain. Elle est un corps organique. vivant, encore une fois, qui fait un avec celui de l'homme. Mobile, inclusive, résiliente, émouvante, comme les mutations du monde. C'est l'art, les créateurs qui inventent ou réinventent les villes. Alors, comment apporter ces tentatives de réponse? Eh bien, l'espace architectural, soumis au changement, à la démesure, reflète les troubles et les doutes liés à la vie contemporaine. Le repenser devient une tâche fondamentale qui incombe à toi, architecte, et aux artistes pour recréer du lien social dans des espaces qui deviennent hors de toute échelle humaine. La beauté de cette ville, c'est qu'on s'y perd. Pour se retrouver, il faut savoir s'être perdu. C'est ça, l'art. L'art réintroduit une échelle humaine dans les mégapoles et il facilite l'accès à la culture par ce lien de proximité, les agoras, l'agora, où l'art devient un outil puissant du vivre ensemble.
I like the title emptiness because it means my position to art. Right now, special or recently, past 10 years, the urban planning kicked out artists, kicked out art district, demolition, a lot of huge artist compound. It is, I think, for artists, it's of course, they build their space, they just make relax, could make work, start to make work. They need time. They need stay the same space to thinking, to creation. Then the planner, the politician change the mind, say your space illegal.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the most exciting things about contemporary art spaces like UCCA, but including many others, is how they become these nodes in the urban fabric that are at once contained and highly controlled and curated, but that are also extremely open to different kinds of encounter among people, of people with art, of people with ideas. And I think that even as we at UCCA look to expand in different cities and kind of make our mission available to more people in different parts of China, it's something also to keep in mind, is sort of how always to come back to the individual and to that magic potential of the reaction between the viewer and the work of art that they maybe didn't know that they needed in their life.
Let's say there are points inside the city where you have a human scale, okay? There is still a human scale, but it is in some point of the city, it's not everywhere. And obviously, I mean, what you said in the beginning, right? That Beijing is considered to have right now between 25 to 30 million people, right? And the urban area of Beijing now it's merging with Tianjin, that it's just on the coast. So these two cities, they are 120 million inhabitants. So that is maybe it's France and Italy together or something like this, you know. So it's of course the scale is totally not out of control, but it's out of control for a human scale for sure. The priorities were was the economy. Now they are already working on the environment issue, right? On the pollution issue. So for sure, I'm pretty sure it will arrive also this point.
Le vêtement, c'est très ouvert. Hein. C'est vraiment, c'est quelque chose que tout le monde peut discuter. Exemple, les gens peuvent facilement dire il aime cette couleur de vêtement ou il aime l'autre couleur de vêtement, il aime cette forme, l'autre forme. C'est facile. C'est pas compliqué pour tout le monde. Tout le monde peut parler ce qu'il pense. Et même, tu n'as pas besoin de prendre langue.
Je pense que la nature, il est plus fort que l'homme. Je pense que l'homme, c'est-à-dire, doit trouver une façon de vivre avec la nature. Dans la philosophie en Chine, dans certaines philosophies ou dans certaines religions, enfin, pas religion, comme le taoïsme, on a toujours cherché une harmonie entre l'homme et la nature. Donc, je pense que c'est ancré chez nous, chez les Chinois, mais je pense que c'est aussi pour les humains, pour tout le monde, qu'on doit partager à cette vision-là. Le but ou l'existence de l'art, c'est vraiment pour qu'on vive mieux, les humains qui vivent ensemble, qui vivent mieux. Donc, on cherche toujours, je pense, l'artiste, il cherche toujours, il y a sa mission, ces missions-là, puis on cherche toujours à rendre l'humain et plus vivre, pas nécessairement heureux, mais conscience. Je pense que ça, c'est très important. Mais je pense que l'art, ce n'est pas un outil, comment dire, pas comme les gouvernements ou les hommes politiques qui peuvent faire quelque chose à travers la loi, à travers la politique pour changer quoi que ce soit rapidement. Mais l'art qui a sa force, je pense, avec une force comme l'eau, comme de l'eau qui est très tendre, apparence tendre, qui a apparence faible, mais qu'en même temps qui peut renverser le bateau, qui peut inonder une ville. Donc, je pense c'est une force qui est, comment dire, qui est dans la continuité. Et il faut regarder ça, c'est très important.